My name is Tosin Olasende. I'm the founder of Money Africa, and today I'll be talking to you about my story. So I was born into a family of 5 in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm the middle child. I have an older brother and a younger sister. When I was in my teenage years, my dad packed up his bags and he moved to the Democratic Republic of Congo. In Congo, they speak French, we speak English in Nigeria. So our entire family had to move to DRC. Now at DRC, he started from owning a bicycle to actually building a house and having multiple stores in Kinshasa, which is the city in DRC. And that was my foray into business. My dad taught me about entrepreneurship at a very early age. And just seeing it happen in real life. Every time people ask me who my role model is, I tell them it's my father, right? So from a bicycle to owning multiple stores and building a house in a country that was not his own. I turned 16, and then we went to Johannesburg, South Africa for my A-levels. I got my first degree, I got my second degree in accounting and finance, and subsequent to that, I started working at an audit firm, a chartered accounting audit firm. My very, very first job was as an auditor. I'd go to work every day, talking to these companies about how to manage their resources, looking at their revenue, and just ensuring things are properly accounted for. However, my personal finance was in shambles. I was living from hand to mouth. Now, I made a decent income to be able to pay my rent, cover my essentials. However, I never saved or I never invested. And this was the story for the first 5 years of my career. I had to move back to Nigeria. But before I moved back to Nigeria, the only asset I had in Johannesburg, South Africa was my car. But guess what? My car wasn't insured. I was being penny wise, pound foolish. In South Africa, you are not obligated to insure your assets, right? So I thought I was saving money. And the money I was saving eventually what? Was not saved. The car was stolen, and I couldn't recoup or make any claims on it. And that was the only asset I had. So moving back to Nigeria, it was a huge lesson for me. I literally had to move back to my parents' house. This was me having a decent job, living in my apartment and having a car of my own, having to start from scratch. It was so bad. I had gone to church with my parents, and they had to squeeze money in my hands as offering because I did not even have the equivalent of $1 to put in an offering basket. And I told myself this was never going to happen again. I picked up the phone and I called my friends. Listen, how are you doing with your money? Similar stories. They were renting an apartment, traveling once a year, eating decent meal, and that was it. No savings, no nothing. Lawyer, consultant, calling all of them, educated. So it's not like they did not have the knowledge, but clearly nobody was saving or investing. So I said, this is a problem. I looked on the internet, this was as at 10 years ago, and searching for things about financial literacy on the continent. And guess what? I couldn't find things that were targeted or suited towards us. I was seeing things like 401k. 401k is the system they use in the US. It doesn't pertain to us. Who was speaking in cultural speak? Who was talking about Ashwebi? This is one of the cultural things we do back in Nigeria. Who was speaking to us using our cultural context? So I started to teach myself. I worked as a financial analyst at CNBC Africa. Then I got poached by Bloomberg TV Africa as a senior financial analyst. Then I worked at British American Tobacco as a commercial finance manager, managing about $20 million. And over the space of those 6 years, I was saving, I was investing in the stock market, I was getting a budgeting plan, and I was trying to figure it out. Once I felt I had a magic card, I wanted to share it with everybody. I opened an Instagram page with lipstick and a phone across my face. I started educating. Hello, my name is Tosin. Do you know what a treasury bill is? Hi, have you heard about the stock market? This is what dividend does. And I started educating. I was obsessed. I did it every day, morning and night. Nobody was paying me a dime for it, but I did it like my life depended on it. In the space of 6 months, we grew the followership to over 20,000 users. There was a time I felt briefly ill, and I was not on social media. I came back to my account, and there were lots and lots of people in my DM asking me, where are you? We've been looking for you. I knew that, bingo, we have a market. Now, to further solidify that, the National Income Insurance Body in Nigeria had reached out to us to do something to educate people about insurance. And I didn't know how to charge them because I had been doing this for free. My friend told me, why don't you send them $1,000 bill and let's just see. I sent them an invoice of $1,000, and guess what? They did not reject it. They did not fight back. They did not negotiate. They asked for my bank account. I called my friend that is a lawyer. I said, we are in business. This is a business. Subsequent to that, we leverage on technology to build out an edtech platform. The edtech platform is having curated courses with tests and everything, educating people about financial literacy, right? And we started getting paid users. People were paying for that service. They were paying a subscription fee to access that platform. Based on the feedback that we got from people learning on Money Africa's EdTech platform, we knew that it was time to build a fintech platform where people could actually save, invest, and do quite interesting things. And we built out Ladder. Ladder raised about $500,000 2 years ago. One from a VC investor and one in the US and one from local investor in Nigeria. And that's how we built out Ladder. Still leveraging on feedback from our users. Every time we spoke to them about money and how time plays a critical role in compounding. So for instance, if a person started investing something as little as $100 in their 20s, by the time they hit retirement, they'll be walking away with a neat $1 billion US dollars. Some people might say, oh my gosh, that is such a long time to hit that number. But do you know that less than 4% people in the world are valued at $1 million? I'm talking about liquidity. So that is a very good amount of money. So where am I going? Knowing that time plays a critical role and that Warren Buffett started investing at the age of 11, we knew that we had to catch the children young. And that was where the idea for Money Africa Kids came into life. So we built out a tech platform, an app that educates children about money. Has anybody heard of Duolingo? We want to be the Duolingo for financial literacy for children, where they can play games, we have a leaderboard, we have everything they can navigate in order for them to learn about financial literacy. And that's how we built out Money Africa Kids. When we built Money Africa Kids, we did not have anything in mind that there was something called a MasterCard EdTech Accelerator, right? They gave us $100,000 in grants for us to test our idea and test our projects, and we're so grateful to them for that. And that has been the journey. So from a phone across my face with a red lipstick and passion that is enough to fight through any obstacles, we built out a fintech and an edtech platform. We have over 21 people on our team, and we have over 500,000 people following us across all social media platforms, and the message is one. We are at the forefront of financial literacy on the continent. My name is Tosin. Thank you for having me.